Hello and welcome. It has been a really long time since I've done a video, so I'm really excited to be here. I'm Dee from Dee's Fine Art, well, my real name is Dina, but you can call me Dee. And I'm about to work on this painting. So I have taken it with me to an exhibition, but I don't like it. I feel like it's incomplete, like maybe the mountain's too big. There's something wrong with the composition, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and hopefully fix it. And if I can't fix it, then I'll just paint over it. That's okay too. So anyway, I've been pretty busy with sort of real life and work and stuff during the pandemic. I haven't been painting as much as I'd like to, but here I am, and I'm hoping to get back into the habit now that I've cleaned up and organized my studio with the help of my husband, who wonderfully helped me, because, you know, if he didn't, I probably wouldn't be painting or doing this video. It was a huge mess because I had all the boxes from my last show. I think my last show was in September of last year. Yeah, September. So I haven't painted since September, except like one at commission. So it's been a really long time. Anyway, got my brushes. Some of them are actually dirty, like you can see this one's dirty. My brushes in here are usually super perfect and clean because I take really good care of my brushes generally. But this is dirty because I used it when I was not at home, and then I came home and, you know, the place was a mess, so I didn't clean it up. But we'll clean it up after today's session. Along with like this one, she's still a little bluish because of that. Same thing for this one's a little black. I think I painted a scene like this one with these. Yeah, I think these are the ones that need cleaning. Anyway, all right, so I'm gonna get started. I apologize, my chair is creaky. The brushes aren't too stiff because I did clean them with like mineral spirits. I just didn't clean them like my thorough clean that I do after I'm done painting, where I use Master's brush cleaner, and I just, you know, put the brush into some of it and then just like drag it and work the compound into the brush. So, because all my brushes are actually really good brushes, except for that one really dirty one I showed you. Like, this is like a $2 brush or something. So this is a crappy brush, but I just use that for blending. But all of these brushes are actually pretty good. So they're like between $10 and $15 each. And as you, actually, I'm not sure if you saw, but I've got a lot of brushes. So I try to take good care of them. I've had some of them, actually this one I think I've had for 11 years or something, and it's actually still in really good condition. So, you know, brush is in good condition because it's not frayed. So I'm not sure if you can see there, but like the what are they called? The bristles are not, you know, going in every direction. So that means it's still in good condition. All right. There are different philosophies about this. Some people don't even care at all, you know, about how good the brush is doing, and they'll just, you know, use cheap brushes and then just throw them out. But I really like the good brushes because they don't leave bristles in the painting as much. I once went to Pittsburgh, and I went to a Michael's there, and I just bought like a bunch of crappy, because I really wanted to paint. I just bought a bunch of crappy brushes and some paints while I was there, and I ended up painting something that ended up with like brush hairs everywhere. It was awful. So hope never to do that again. All right, so I'm going to start with building my palette. Obviously, I'm going to be using a lot of white. This is the Grumbacher Pre-Tested Professional Oil Colors. So I'm going to take a big glob of that. Can't see my palette, I apologize. over here. And let's see, what other colors do I want? I do want some magenta. This paint is like super old, so if I can't get any of it out, that's okay. I'm gonna throw this out. Oh, still got some. I'm just gonna throw it out anyway, even though there's more in there, but it's sort of dried. And I have another one. Different brand though. This one's a Windsor Newton Artist's oil color. I think in Windsor and Newton they call the professional grade the artists, whereas in other brands the artist is like the second tier, so it's like student, artist, professional. But I'm not sure that is the same for Windsor and Newton. I think they have a different set of paints for like a different name, like that it's a complete different set. Oh wow, that's a lot of paint I just squeezed out there. This is Windsor Violet. I try to keep these closed up, you know, so that I can use them without them drying out. This is a dioxazine purple, which is a rather transparent kind of purple. I believe. Am I correct? Yep, it is transparent. I'm gonna take some of the other quinacridone. I don't know how you're actually supposed to pronounce it, but that's what I call it, quinacridone. I'm probably wrong, but that's okay. You know, it's all right, it's all good. And this is the black I have that has sort of just died. It's also pretty old. A lot of these paints need throwing out. I just haven't gotten around to it. But I think time has come for this black because it actually got punctured and started coming out from that direction. So I'm gonna see what's left. I'll take that onto my palette and then throw out the bundle. This is my new ivory black, which is also the Windsor Newton one. I thought I'd try a different brand. I used to always use Daniel Smith, and they're good. It's just, I thought I'd try something new. Tried a few different brands, and also they were easier to get on Amazon. All right, this is my, which blue is this? Phthalo Blue. This is my favorite color. This one I stuck with Daniel Smith. I've gone through a bunch of tubes. All right, so this is my Liquin Oleo Pasto, and this one's my Liquin Impasto. And these are just mediums that you can use to thicken your paint. But I'm not doing a very textured thing. I'm only doing some texture here. So I'm not gonna worry about these right now. The colors I've got so far are blue, magenta, purple, white, and black. I need green. My favorite is the permanent green light. I don't like the just regular permanent green. I like the permanent green light. It's pretty versatile and makes really nice sky colors for auroras, which is, you know, as you know, my specialty. Okay, I think I should be good. I've got a cadmium orange I haven't tried yet, but I don't think it fits in this painting, so I'm dying to try it, but I'll do that another time. I have a feeling I'm going to end up painting over the whole thing because, like I said, this is sort of textured, so it'll be hard to just continue the sky into it because you'll see the texture. So, and the texture will outline the mountain, so it might be weird. So let's see, how can I salvage this painting? One thing I don't like about it as well is just the colors. They don't go well with the sky. They don't match the sky very well. It doesn't look like, you know, a snowy mountain. At least to me it doesn't. So usually when I'm painting, nothing looks to me like it's supposed to, and then I have to stand back and look at it to see if it makes sense overall. All right, so I'm gonna get started here. I've got some mineral spirits. I've got my Liquid Original. This is the medium that I like to use. It's a speed drying, improves gloss, and it just makes it so that I can keep working on a painting, like, you know, day after day, with it not being too completely wet. Because wet into wet is great and all, and I do that a lot, but sometimes you need to layer. Has a slightly weird texture and it's very stinky, unfortunately, but you know, I don't use too much of it, so it's all good. Well, let's see what we want to do here. First off, I think I'm gonna just give it a go. See if I can like put some blues in or some greens further in here and cover that up. And if that works, then great. And if it doesn't, then I will have to think of something else. So I'm just blending up some green with some blue and some white. Putting in a little bit of liquid. All right, let's see if we can. Okay, I can already tell that this is not going to work because like I can cover the paint, I can cover the black, it can turn green, but you'll see the ridges of the mountain anyway. So that's not good news. So I'm sort of stuck with the mountain where it is, which means what I'm going to do now is I'm going to soak this in some mineral spirits, odorless mineral spirits, which is what I use for just wild painting, and remove the paint that I just put in. Since it's oil paints, well, this thing moves a lot. It tends to just go away, so that's all right. Like unlike acrylic, where you paint it, you put it on, and you know, like 2 seconds later, it's dry, and you can no longer do anything with it. I need to fix this thing to make it less wobbly. I'm not sure how to do it, but I'm gonna. Whoop, there we go. All right. See if that's good enough to make it stop moving. Okay, let's try it again. Just clean out my brush. Doesn't really have much on it anymore, but it's less wobbly, that's good. I am gonna at least try to cover up this sort of little mess I made here with paint. Not this time, you know, I made it last time I was painting, where some of the paints from the mountain bled into the sky. Okay, that did not work as intended. Just need to get it out of the blue section. Patch job. Patching it up. I'm just trying to rub this section into like fading it a bit so that it doesn't look quite like a line like it does right now. Okay, let's just work on the mountain. The sky is okay, it's not perfect, but I think it's the mountain that I hate. So I'm gonna go in with, let's see, I'm gonna blend some blue and some white. A lot of white to a little bit of blue because the phthalo blue is very potent. Actually, any blue is very potent, and it turns the white into blue like right away. You don't even have to put much. Right now it's giving me like a sky blue, which is not really what I want. And it's lumpy for some reason. It's not good. You want your paint to be smooth so that it just floats on the canvas like you want it to. Okay, you can still see it's sort of lumpy like that, but anyway. Let's see if we can brighten this picture up a bit. I'm trying to keep the texture like as part of the image because the texture is part of the, like a mountain. Just lightening up the color of this mountain to see if that makes it look any better, or any more, you know, like there's snow there. Right, I'm gonna keep adding some more. I really have a noisy chair, so I apologize if that is bothering you while you're watching this. I should probably get a better chair. But for some reason, chairs are they just tend to get noisy, and then I never know how to fix it. I want it to seem like streaks, you know? So I'm liking the effect it had right here, but not so much down here. But that also may be because it has like texture from last time when I was using a knife to do this. If I tried to do this now with a knife, it would just add another layer of texture, but it probably wouldn't hide the colors that I'm trying to hide. And I would use a technique very similar to what I'm doing with the brush, where it's like, you know, going sideways, like I'm not brushing it on like this. I would do the same with a knife. That effect is really nice. Yeah, so this area looks a little heavy-handed. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention or something, but it looks like it doesn't look as good. So I'm gonna probably have to put in some other colors or more texture to make it look better. I don't know how exactly, but you can tell the direction of the strokes in a painting. That's why even that, like I wanted to go like this, so I'm trying to paint it in that correct direction. Because if I try to go the other way, you know, like logically in my head, it should be the same. You know, it's just a line in that direction. But it's not the same. It doesn't end up looking the same. So can't quite put my finger on why. I mean, it probably has to do with like pressing in a certain way when you're putting the brush on versus taking it off, and that like the eye can sort of determine what direction that paint stroke was going in. So I've got to like artificially try to make it a little choppy in this area. All right, I have run out of the paint that I mixed for this color. So now I have to remix some more. So I'm going to take more blue, more of the white, and mix it some more again. Now it's a little darker than what I've got on the canvas, so I'm going to have to keep adding white until it is no longer darker. For some reason, this white seems to have gotten, like, it's very hard, tricky and difficult to blend right now, like to mix it up with the blue. It's getting like chunky and stuff, so I don't know, we'll make it work. But like you can see, that's a very different color, so I'm probably going to need to work on it some more. Trying to blend the two a little, because I do like this shade too, the new one. It's just a little too blue on its own. Like I don't want to do just that color. All right, I do not like it. I need more white, so I'm going to do that. A tiny bit of mineral spirits, because this is not smooth enough, not as smooth as I'd like it to be. All right, there we go. It's much brighter now. Yeah, so you can tell that that's going in the wrong direction, I think. Okay. I do not like it any more than I did before, so we'll see whether I'll keep going with this. If I really want to, I can just undo all of this, but it will be messy, and I didn't like the previous one anymore. than I than I like this version. So I don't think I want to do that. I think part of the problem is just that it's like nice and thick up here, and here it's like little strokes. So I need to get rid of those, like that look of like it's brush strokes, and make it look more like ice or snow, you know. Oh, no, that's bad. That is not what I was trying to do. Spread more paint. All right, so now I'm going to step back and take a look at it. Well, it's a slightly better base color than the previous color, which was, I think, too dark. But now, of course, this is too dark compared to this side, so I'm going to have to fix this side. And then I'm also going to want to add some of the sky colors back in that I've covered up. All right, so I'm going to do that by, let's see, just gonna see if I like that effect. Not particularly, so never mind. All right, so I've got this lighter color here that I mixed to do the second round, but I still have the darker color I used for that darker blue. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of more blue to that darker color to make it even darker, but it's still bluish. And we're gonna try it out. See if we like it, or if it's too bright. It might be still too bright, but it's much easier to brighten something than it is to darken it. Sorry, the other way around. Much easier to darken something than it is to brighten it. So I can darken this if I need to later. So I'm just gonna keep going with this color. Even though I'm not crazy about it. This side is a little smooth, like not much texture on this side. So I may need to add texture back with a palette knife. This is sort of dry brushing, because this brush doesn't have a lot in it right now, and certainly no medium or like mineral spirits or solvent. But I don't want it to look so much like straight lines as I want it to look like just more natural lines. So I gotta try to fuzzy up the lines I'm making. Yeah, this color is too bright. And by bright, I don't mean like light blue. I mean, it's like just a bright blue. So the solution to that is usually to add its complement. So a little bit of orange should make it a little more dull than, you know, because you don't want this dull side of the mountain to be brighter than the bright side of the mountain. So maybe I will get an opportunity to use some of that orange I had. Yeah, so this cadmium orange, I'm gonna mix it. Oh, if I can open this. It's pretty stiff. I've never opened this before. It shouldn't be that hard. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna use just a tiny bit on my palette, and then I'll mix that in with the blue, and it'll make it, because if you mix like complements, blue and orange, they'll give you brown, basically, or like this grayish brown. I don't want to go all the way brown. I just want to make the color a little less bright. You will see what I mean in just a moment. Let's see. Yes, you see how that blue is just more dull than this other blue that's on there? Yeah, you don't want the side of the mountain that's supposed to be dull to be too bright. So this is good. It's just dulling it down. I'm actually not sure if this is visible on camera, like if you can tell the difference, but I hope you can. So, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, that's a little better. It's still like too streaky, so I don't like that. So I'm gonna try to make that a little less obvious. Nice thing about the bottom, the sky being dry, is that I can do things like, like this, where I went a little over the line. That's okay. Just gonna wipe it off. But when I'm painting the mountain, like initially when I'm painting the mountain, it's wet on wet, so it's hard to fix those kinds of mistakes, especially since the mountain is so dark. So it'll like, bleed out into these colors, and then it'll be harder to cover. All right, I'm gonna go step back, see how it looks. Okay, I mean, don't love it, but it's better. Actually, it looks like the video doesn't really show it properly, so maybe I'll just move the camera like here. I also think the stars aren't quite obvious enough, so I may need to add some more flicks of white. But I am a little happier with the mountain than it used to be. You know, it looks a little more like a mountain. In the picture though, like in the video, like now that I'm looking at my phone, in the video the blues seem less different, whereas in real life it's actually quite a stark difference. So let me see if I can I can move this and see if I can make it look a little more obvious, like it is in real life. There we go. I think that's better. Yeah, that's a little more accurate to what it actually looks like. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna pause there and hopefully see you in a next video. Thanks for watching.